Welcome everyone, a great song from Chris Stapleton, just really well done. You should probably leave, and we're going to go over both guitars. We are in standard tuning. I've tabbed this out. There are a few things that the tabs left out that I think are really integral to this, especially there's one part in the bridge. He actually moves to another chord that nobody really bothers with. So we'll talk about that. I got a lot of this. There's some real good live videos. The one that really helped me figure out what chord he was doing was by Kathleen Miller. It kind of just focuses on Chris in a jean shirt. But we're going to go over both guitars. I'll put a link to that video if you want to watch him play it. He does a few things live a little bit different, kind of more of a shuffle up-tempo feel to it versus the studio version. So we'll talk about that also. And like I said, we are in standard tuning. As always, my notes and tab are right below the video. Just click on the link and you can download them. Alright, so I am playing through, I want to mention my White Whale. Wonderful, wonderful pedal. It's version 2. It came out kind of upgraded. It's got a real reverb unit in it, and I had another reverb pedal and it was just too touchy. It was a digital, and I mean I would just move it slightly and it was like washed in reverb. So I ended up selling that. But anyhow, I got this White Whale and I absolutely love it. Like I said, it does have a real spring reverb and it does have vibrato. And in this solo, that's why I'm bringing it up, Chris does use some vibrato. He has a Princeton custom amp you can buy, and of course it's got the vibrato on it. So I noticed in this solo he uses it. So with that said, we're going to go through the opening lick. All right, we're going to be at the 9th fret on the 2nd and 3rd string, and what we're going to do is strike those 2 strings and then hammer into 10, and then we'll hit 9 on the 2nd without striking the 3rd. And then the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Alright, at that point we're going to hammer in from 9 to 11 on the 3rd string and then hit 9 again. Then he does a nice little lick from the 11th fret, sliding that quickly back to 9 and then hitting 9. That'll be on the 4th string. Alright, so we have this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he ends it more or less with this 5th string. We're going to go 7 hammered into 9 and end up on 7 on the 4th. Alright, and that all repeats. Now the second time through, because there's 2 guitars doing this, Chris more or less plays the rhythm during this part. The other guitar, when he ends this, he adds another, alright, so he adds another 9 and 7. And it's really getting into the mix of the vocals. Alright, so let's do both of those together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, at that point, like I said, the verse has already come in. But that is the intro lick. Now that lick is repeated during the chorus. The only difference is he doesn't do the extra 9 and 7. Alright, it's just a straight, let's call it the very first half of that intro lick. But that's during the choruses. And this intro rhythm is what's played during the chorus. So we're outlining an F sharp minor. Alright, then we're going to go to an A, then to a D, and back to an A. Alright, so he's picking through this, and it's going to be 6-5-4 with the F sharp minor. And then when we move to the A, there's a slight pause because he's coming in on the and the timing's slightly different. So he's letting the first A ring a little bit and then hitting the second fret of the fourth and third string. So we have this. And the same thing when we go through the D. The D will be 4-3-2, and then when we hit the A, it'll be just that A note before he hits the second frets. So listen for that. You'll be able to pick that up real quick. It's not straight picked through. Just listen for that. All right, that'll get you the feel of the song. All right, so we repeat that twice, all right? And after the second time through, we are into the verse. Now, the verse carries on that mantra of basically the F sharp minor, A, D, A chording, but we're just going to do a couple things a little different. So for the first verse, what he does different is we're going to pick through the F sharp minor like we have. And then when we go to the A, we'll pick the A, slight pause, and then pick the second fret of the fourth string, but then we deaden the strings. So we have this. So can hear that little pause after that second note in the A. All right, and that's where the reverb comes in nicely because it's not overpowering and he doesn't hit it real hard. He just kind of, stops the strings so they ring a little bit. The other thing is when he's doing this live, he's doing it more of a shuffle feel. And then occasionally he'll add some extra notes, especially to that A. He'll add a little hammer on the second string to the third fret and back off to second. So again, he just varies it. I've watched probably 6 or 8 live videos, and each one he does a little bit differently. But that's what he's doing live if you want to capture more of that feel with a shuffle, or you play along with it. But he's still in standard tuning, so he doesn't change his tuning live from studio. So that helps. Okay, so after verse 1, which is 2 measures long, and then we go into, or we do this F, A, D, A. We will do that 4 times, 2 measures worth. And then we are into the pre-chorus. So the pre-chorus for this first measure, we're going to do these chords 3 times. He adds an E to it, to an F sharp minor. All right, and then we go to our D to A. Alright, again, that would be 1 round through. We'll do that 3 times. Now the strumming, the E is a down and then up. Then when we get to the F sharp, it's down and then up, down. Then our D is a down and then up. And then our A is down and then up, down. So again, we'll do that 3 times for a pre-chorus. Now, while that's happening, guitar 2 does a really nice little lick. He really plays well off of Chris's chording here, the E to F sharp minor. He's basically doing some inversions down here. We're going to play this E to F sharp minor, all right, and then we're going to move up here to a D to A. So our E will be referenced by the 4th, 3rd, 2nd string. We're going to hit that, let it ring a little bit, and then hit it and hammer in on the 2nd string at the 10th fret, the 4th string at 11. All right, and then he comes up to referencing a D. We're just really going to concentrate on the 4th and 3rd string. We're going to strike that at 7 and then reference an A. All right, like an A bar chord, but we're just playing the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. All right, so we have this. All right, just really, really well done. So he'll do that 3 times, and then he goes back into the lick. So that lick, again, because we've come out of the pre-chorus, that is the chorus. So he's playing over what would be the intro chords picked through. Alright, so we pick through that for one measure. The chorus is fairly short. It feels like the pre-chorus is the chorus because they just flow right into each other. And that leads us to verse 2. Now verse 2 starts out picking through all the strings. Then he'll the second half, after he goes from the D to A, hit the deadened strings. So it's really a feel thing, but you know, again, I like to give you what he's doing, and you take it from there, whether that's what you want to do or just go for the feel like I think he did when he was recording this. All right, so we got verse 2, which again is 2 measures long, or 4 of those chords picked through and stopped. And then we have another pre-chorus with that pre-chorus lick, which leads us into the bridge. The bridge is quite different, and there's a couple ways to play it. So for the bridge, what we're doing is we're going to pick through some notes. There will be a melody that's played on the bass line. And basically what we'll call pedal notes, or 2 notes that we keep the same. That'll be the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. More of a D form. Okay? Although as we play through the melody, it'll start with a D, and then we're going to go to this will be a C sharp over D, and then it would be a B minor 7th. Okay, and because we have our pinky off, we're still 2nd fret of that 3rd string and 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So you really don't have to go into that form. All right. And then we come back to that C sharp over D, and then D twice. Okay, so let me explain the picking. That's kind of the theory behind this, but again, the way I play it, and I noticed the other guitar player, they showed him doing this once, and he was playing this the same way. A lot of times when we go to that D, we might go to a G and then an F sharp as we walk down over a D. All right, that's in a lot of songs, country songs also. So that movement of my middle finger onto the 3rd string and my 1st finger onto the bass notes is a good practice for this. All right, so again, it's really up to you. But we're picking open, a 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Then we pick the 5th string at the 4th fret, and then 3rd and 2nd. Then the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then 3rd and 2nd, back to 4. All right, so that is the melody that we do, and then when we come back to D, we're going to do pick through the D. It'll be 4, 3, 2, 3, and then 3 and 2. Hold that for a second, and then you'll hear this little lick. So all he does is come back up to the 12th fret, 2nd string, 2 bends, and then hits the 10th fret. So we have this with the Ds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do the same melody. Then we go to what would be our D. We go to an E, and then an F instead of minor. We're going to go keep our pinky off. All right. So we'd be playing. It's still a minor 7. We're just leaving the pinky off. So we play the. We're not playing the root note. We're playing the 5th string at the 4th fret, and then the 2nd fret of the 4th and 3rd. All right. So we have. And when he comes back, I think he's. So it's a. More of a hammer into that E with the 1st, or I'm sorry, the 3rd string. And then a little build up to the solo. Now let's talk about the recording. So during the bridge, the 2nd guitar does something a little different. Again, I've seen even Chris play this where he's just playing. Playing those notes that we did earlier in the bridge. When it's just him, he will tend to do this. Alright, but the 2nd guitar in the actual recording is going to be picking the first 2 notes of these chords and then just hitting the deadened strings to start out with. So we're going to do this up to the B note, back to the C sharp note. Move it down. Then we start picking through the chord. It'll be 5, 7 on the 5th, 4th, and then the 3rd string at 7 again. Back up. Then we move the chord. All right, what we're going to do is play 7 and then 9, 9 on from the 6th to 5th and 4th, and then you'll hear him do this. All right, to end the bridge. That's when Chris does. All right, so what we do is pick through the chords. That's the 2nd half of the bridge, 2nd guitar. And then we have the solo. All right, the solo rhythm is the chorus rhythm. We just pick through the F sharp minor to our A, and then D to A. All right, that will go 2 measures. So the solo is 2 measures long. And coming out of the solo, we'll go over the solo last. I always like to do the solos last. I like to keep the rhythm going. So coming out of the solo, the verse 3 is, this is again another thing that's not quite tabbed outright. The idea is there, we're going F sharp to A and then D to A. So that stays the same of the verse, but it's the rhythm. 3 palm muted F sharp minors, just using the 6th and 5th string. So 1, 2, 3, then we go to A, 1, 2, 3, but then it's 2 more. And then D, 1, 2, 3, and then the A is the same. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. All All right, so I know that seems awkward showing you, but listen to it. So there's a little nuance for you, but again, it's important to do it that way for the timing of the song. And just like a typical verse, you'll do that 4 sets or 2 measures. And then we're into our pre-chorus, which we know already. All right, and the chord lick is under that. And then we go into another chorus, but it's like the outro. It's played as an outro, but he's singing through it like a chorus. So the difference is it's 2 measures long and takes us out of the song. So Chris is picking through this. All right, that will go for 4 times. On the 4th time, when we get from the D, we just stop on the A, all right? And that's how the song ends. As he's playing that outro, there is the, let's call it the intro lick, if you will. He's going to do that 4 times to measure, to equal the measure of the chorus out. The only difference is the very last time he does it, the lick's just slightly different. Great, great solo. For this, like I said, turn on your vibrato. It really helps with the reverb. I'm down in the neck pickup versus both pickups now, and get that little bit more twang going. Start out 6th string, open 1st, 2nd fret. Then we're going to come to the 5th string. We're going to hit the open and then the 2nd fret, and then we'll hit 2 slid up to 4. Okay, so it's real important, especially timing wise, that you not only hit the 2nd, but you hit it again, 2nd fret of the 5th string, hit it again, and then slide up to 4. All right. Then we're going to hit 4, slide back to 2, and pull off to open. All right, so a nice little movement there. And then we go 2 to open, and then 2 slid to 4. And when we get to 4, we'll hit it again. All right, so a lot of numbers there. Let's do this together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, we're going to, after holding that with the little vibrato, slide back to 2 and pull off to open, and then 2 to open again. All right, so that 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we end it with a 6th string open, hammered into 2, and then open 5th string, ring it out. Now the second half of the solo, he starts out here in the 2nd position. He's going to be on the 4th string. He's going to hammer 2 to 4 and then hit 2 again. Then come up to the 5th string, hit 4, and then 4 slid to 2 and then open. All right, so we have this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to slide 2 to 4 and then hit the 2nd fret again to open. Do that again. So that's leading us to the end where we do the same lick. Open 6th string, hammer down to 2 to open. All right, so all together the second half. 1, 2, 3, 4. tricky, a little funky, very well played. I just really enjoy this solo. All right, so now we have one more lick really to cover, and that is the outro lick. So for the outro lick, what he does is, again, because the outro chorus is 2 measures long, normally a chorus is 1, we're going to do this lick technically 4 times. 3 just like we've learned it, and then the last one slightly different to end the song. So we know the lick. I'm going to do the lick, the second measure, which will be once normal, and then the different one, and we'll go over that. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so to end this, what we're doing, just like we started, once we get to that 9 on the 3rd string, we're going to come to the 4th string, hammer in to 11 from 9, and then come to 9 on the 3rd. And then hammer from 9 to 11. So we're going to hit 9 technically twice on the 3rd string after we come back. Then we come to 9, and then 11, slid back to 9, and then 7 on the 4th string. All right, so we have this all together. And that is the end of the song. So I really hope this helps everybody. Wonderful song by Chris. Enjoy.